Welcome to Y2K Movie Recaps. Today we bring you a thrilling movie which is based on one of the New York Times best-selling novels of 2018, Woman in the Window. The movie begins with Anna Fox, also known as Amy Adams in real life, spending weeks in her New York City apartment situated in Harlem. Sometimes talking on the phone with her husband Ed and sometimes with her daughter Olivia, but both of them never desired to meet her personally. Anna is talking to her therapist Dr. Landy, who claims that Anna's level of depression is deepening as she has started spying on her neighbor Alistair Russell and his family, who have just recently moved in. He also discovers that Anna is becoming suicidal, and agoraphobic, a mental disorder in which, due to extreme anxiety, a person feels threatened or unsafe by being in an environment and accepts that there is no way to escape. Or fearing open crowded places or leaving one's own home. The doctor advised her to take her medicine, and also not to drink too much. Anna accepts taking the medicine, but fails to disclose to him that she is also suffering from a severe drinking problem, because she loves taking her depression medicine with a giant glass of wine. Someone is at Anna's door. It turns out that it's Ethan Russell from across the street. Anna lets him in. This teenage boy and Anna have a discussion that reveals more details that include Anna separating from her husband, Anna working as a child psychologist. But Anna senses that there is something not right with Ethan, and she thinks that maybe his home is not the best, especially regarding his father Alistair Russell. After the two talking, we see Ethan leaving and Anna sees him to the door. The following day, Anna wakes up with a hangover, and we are introduced to Anna's basement tenant David. David lives downstairs in the building. She made him responsible for getting groceries for her. Later that night, Anna is in her apartment, and she is drunk. She hears a hedge of children outside making noise. She rushes to see what was happening. She opens the curtain, and she sees a Halloween of children outside her door. She masters the courage to open the door, only to pass out. Later, when she wakes up, she sees a strange blonde woman there, who turns out to be Jane Russell, Ethan's mother. The two women get acquainted and decide to have some drinks, as they let the time roll out. As the two women enjoy each other's company, Anna shows Jane a picture of her son who had been stabbed the day prior. Jane also shows off the earrings that were given to her by her old boyfriend. The conversation ends when Jane shows Anna a doodle of her and her cut on a notepad. Anna is awakened by her cats screaming a loud bang downstairs. Anna walks downstairs only to find it in her basement tenant's David. In David's apartment they talk. David tells her about her roof being fragile, leaking, and that it has mold all over it, and advises her that if she would want to rent it out in the future, she would definitely need to fix it. Later that night, Anna hears some commotion across the street, specifically at the Russells, and tries to investigate. However, all she gathered was a weeping Ethan Russell on the phone and someone of an angry temperament Alistair as she sees Jane Russell run out of the apartment. Anna, wanting to confirm, asks her downstairs tenant David if he heard a scream, but he says no. Still talking to him, a woman crying faintly is heard downstairs. Anna asks David if he was hearing any sound and David says no. Anna returns back to her room. On her window, there she notices Ethan quickly making his way across the street. Anna lets him in and states that if there is any problem he should let her know, and she gives Ethan her telephone number. The next day, Anna wakes up to her routine of taking her medicine. Later she is seated taking a glass of wine as her cat seats on her lap. We see her with bottles of all the wines she had taken all around her. She is drunk and drifts to sleep, and she gets a nightmare about the Russells which brings her awake to her creepiness. Through her camera lens, she sees someone stabbing Jane but could not identify who was the killer. To save Jane, Anna immediately calls the police and quickly rushes towards the Russells' house, but due to heavy traffic in between, she gets hit by a car. When she wakes up, she finds herself in her own apartment in front of two NYPD detectives, who claimed that she raised a false alarm. As the detectives interrogate Anna, Alistair Russell's badges in and accuses Anna for spying on his house, and also states that Anna has made a mistake and that she has never met his wife. Anna feels shocked to find Alistair's wife being completely fine and could not believe Alistair's statement when he said his wife never met Anna, which was also backed by his son Ethan. Anna insists that she knows what she saw, that she knows Jane and that Jane has been in her house. Shocking her even more, another blonde woman introduces herself as Jane Russell's. Anna is looking for her cat. She can't find it in her house. She decides to go to David's apartment downstairs. While there she looks for her cat under the bed and she finds it there. Anna also accidentally finds an earring of Jane in her tenant's room, which makes David angry. Anna also discovers that David was on parole and was living out of state illegally. As the movie progresses we see Ethan get into the van, but no one knows to where. Back at Anna's apartment, Anna is searching her drawer, where she comes across a notepad picture Jane Russell had drawn a night she was there. This was the evidence she needed, so she thought. Anna knows for sure that there was someone there with her that day. She is not just imagining things. Later that night Anna sat silently going through the pictures she took of the Russells, when suddenly she receives an email from an unknown person. She opens it and gets shocked after seeing an attached photo that shows Anna sleeping. Out of fear, and desperate to prove she is not hallucinating, Anna immediately calls the same detectives. The detectives are back at it again questioning Anna. The Russells also budge in accusing Anna. The detectives refuse to believe her. Anna told them that if her husband was around he would believe her. The detective then tells Anna that her husband Ed and her daughter Olivia died in a car crash, but luckily, Anna survived while driving. Anna flashes back on what exactly happened that day. On that fateful day Anna is driving the car. She gets into an argument with her husband in front of their daughter. Her husband says he can't take it anymore. The phone rings. They both struggle to grab the phone. Anna gets distracted. She takes her eye off the road just for a moment and they crushed. Anna then realized she had murdered her own family. The next week it's Monday, Anna's weekly therapy. Anna feels a dramatic change has taken place from a week prior. She feels ashamed and embarrassed about last week but assures her doctor that she would do better. Later, after the doctor left, Anna disturbed and devastated by the fact that she lost her family, Anna creates a plan to kill herself, and shoots a video in the form of a goodbye letter, and decides to send it to David to make sure he does not get blamed for it. Later that night, as she was going through her phone for the last time, she suddenly sees a photo of her cat, and the reflection of Jane through the wine glass. Anna again tries to prove herself right because she never imagined this moment. Anna rushes towards David, and shows him the photo to find more proof. David admits that he had one night stand with original Jane, whose actual name is Katie. David explains that Katie is the actual birth mother of Ethan, but when she was 8 months pregnant, she ran away from Alistair. After searching for 2 years, Alistair found Katie and his son Ethan, and took Ethan with him. After so many years, Katie wanted to meet Ethan, but Alistair was trying to hide Ethan from her. And the woman that Anna saw being stabbed from her window was not Jane, but was Katie. Anna begs David to go with her to the police, but David, afraid of his past and not wanting anything to do with the police, refused to help Anna and declined to confess this to the police and left. A few moments later, Ethan suddenly appears out of the shadows with a knife. Ethan has been hiding in Anna's house for some time now, and reveals that he has killed David for sleeping with his birth mother, and did not want him to bring his mother back to his life. Ethan also reveals to Anna that he is the one who killed the woman she saw being stabbed in Russell's home, and he loves being a serial killer. He even admitted that Anna was right about the Alistair's assistant named Pam being killed because Ethan was the one who killed her. Scaring Anna by pointing a knife at her, Ethan explains that he is the one who sent her the photo of her sleeping, and was hiding in her home for many days, with the intention to kill Anna at the right time. Ethan walks closer. Anna pours a glass of wine for herself, as if to calculate her next move, but before Ethan could get any closer, Anna turns around with a bottle in her hand, smashes his face. Ethan falls down. She kicks him down and he rolls down the stairs. Trying to save herself from the serial killer, Anna rushes to the roof to hide from him. But Ethan manages to find Anna, and he hurts her face with a knife. After a long fight during heavy rain at night, Anna somehow manages to throw Ethan from the roof of the building and pushes him through a glass sunroof. Eventually, Ethan falls down and he dies. The next day Anna wakes up at the hospital, feeling horrified about the incidents that had happened to her the day prior. However, as she was recovering at the hospital, the detectives visited Anna at the hospital, and apologized to her for not believing in her before. The detectives also explain that Alistair and Jane have been arrested for confessing that their 9 months later, Anna leaves her apartment and boards a taxi to a new world. But before leaving, she looks back at her house and says, "I miss you," which she was referring to her husband and daughter. This stage marked a new beginning in her world, which she decided to take on with extreme courage and willpower. If we compare this to the novel, there are some changes that have been added in the movie, and not in the novel. For example, Ethan did not kill David in the novel, but this has been added in the movie to add more twist to it. Another change that has been made in the movie is that Ethan was selected as the one who killed his birth mother Katie, but in the book it was Ethan's adopted mother Jane who actually killed Katie. So, which moment of the movie did you like the most? Do you think agoraphobia is a serious mental disorder? Tell us in the comments section below. And if you have any question or suggestion, then feel free to mention in the comments section and we will surely respond to your request. If you like this video, don't forget to press that like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.